this evening. First, the Ghana Defense Forces Engineering Corps arrives in Grenada to assist with rebuilding efforts following Hurricane Beryl. We have the latest on their mission and the relief supplies they've brought along. President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali announces a significant $1.5 billion investment to rehabilitate roads in Region 3. Find out which communities will benefit and how these upgrades will improve local infrastructure. Then, local business owners are raising concerns about the rapid increase in Chinese supermarkets and hardware stores around the nation. We'll hear from the Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Juanit Waldron, on how the government plans to address these issues. Also, severe flooding in Region 10 prompts an emergency meeting with Prime Minister Mark Phillips. Discover the steps being taken to tackle the flooding and repair critical infrastructure. And finally, Caribbean governments condemn the attempted assassination of former U.S. President Donald Trump. We bring you the reactions and the latest updates on this shocking incident. Stay with us for these stories and more coming up on tonight's broadcast. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for July 15, 2024. I'm Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, a team from the Ghana Defense Forces Engineering Corps has arrived in Grenada to assist with rebuilding efforts. Along with that team is a shipment of relief supplies, including food, building materials, tools, and generators. Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips commended the collective response from the public and private sectors in mobilizing aid for the countries devastated by Hurricane Beryl, highlighting it as a showcase of humanity at its best. Coordinating Ghana's relief efforts, Prime Minister Phillips noted that it was the second shipment sent within a week and a half. Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves of St. Vincent and the Grenadines expressed gratitude to President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali for the generous support, emphasizing the strong Caribbean solidarity and ongoing efforts to advocate for global assistance. With over 80% of St. Vincent and the Grenadines' agricultural sector impacted and significant damage reported in Grenada's Carriacou and Petite Martinique, Guyana's swift response has been critical. The Ghana Defense Forces Engineering Corps will aid in the recovery of the affected regions. In other news, Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips convened an impromptu meeting with key stakeholders at the Watuka Guest House in Linden to tackle severe flooding in Region 10. During the meeting, he emphasized the government's commitment to collaboration and support in addressing the ongoing flooding issues. Prime Minister Phillips urged stakeholders to set aside political differences and work together to address the challenges. He highlighted the urgency of repairing critical infrastructure, including the clearing and cleaning of drainage systems. The Prime Minister called for a comprehensive plan from the committee, the Town Council, and the Regional Democratic Council, assuring government support for these efforts. He also stressed the need for central, regional, and local governments to work together, inviting the private sector to join in preparing the infrastructure. Meanwhile, the Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Sonia Parag, and stakeholders are planning a future meeting to discuss and collaborate on effective solutions. Moving on, the government of Ghana is taking a cautious approach to the concerns of local business owners about the rapid increase of Chinese supermarkets and hardware stores in the country. Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Juanit Waldron, stated that the government will thoroughly discuss the issue to ensure that all perspectives are considered. The Ghana Business Owners Association, representing 65 businesses, sent a letter to President Irfan Ali and senior officials on April 22, 2024. They expressed concerns that Chinese businesses are not following the same rules as the local ones, including issues like not providing proper tax invoices, avoiding VAT charges, and selling expired products without proper consumer support. The Guyana Business Owner Association questioned whether these Chinese businesses are receiving special treatment, such as tax breaks or other concessions, which might give them an unfair advantage over local businesses. Minister Waldron confirmed that these concerns are being taken seriously and will be discussed with the Minister of Finance to find a fair solution. Local businesses are worried that expanding Chinese stores could harm their market shares and affect those with financial obligations, like loans. The government aims to ensure fair competition and regulation adherence for all businesses in Guyana. Stick around when we return. President Ali announces $1.5 billion for road rehabilitation in Region 3, and widow and grandchildren receive new homes through Men on a Mission initiative.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized gear, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton, and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
See clearly with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Our smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Welcome back. President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali has announced nearly $1.5 billion in funding to rehabilitate roads in Red Dorsey, Westminster, and Underneaming in Region 3. During a Sunday morning walkabout, the president emphasized a significant investment in these communities. Approximately 25 roads will be repaired using local contractors and completed swiftly. Designs and surveys to finalize the road network and determine priority areas will be completed this week. Additionally, 4 excavators have been deployed to Schoonard, the Parfait Harmony, and Lustenroth to address drainage issues to clear blockage. Residents are assured that they would receive first level treated water by December, as the new water treatment plant at Lustenroth is 65% complete, with transmission lines 95% finished. Upcoming interconnection and network upgrades will follow the completion of these lines. President Ali also highlighted efforts to ensure land maintenance by involving housing authorities and local government to impose surcharges on individuals neglecting their lands. He acknowledged the complexity of land repossession, but stressed ongoing efforts to resolve these issues. During the walkabout, President Ali pledged immediate intervention to rehabilitate the community grounds in Cordelia Ida and La Parfait Harmony. He was joined by Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edgehill, Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Sonia Parag, and several technical officers. In other news, 53-year-old Shamdai Pomu, a widow, and her 2 grandchildren are now living comfortably in their newly constructed home thanks to the Melanin Mission initiative. Previously, Pomu's living conditions were deplorable, with water and mud often accumulating under her bed. Her niece helped her to write a letter to the Melanin Mission requesting a new home. Expressing tearful gratitude, Pomu shared how this new home has changed her life, providing her family with a safe and happy living environment. Unemployed due to illness, the 53-year-old struggles to support her household and send her grandchildren to school. To make ends meet, she sells crops at the Monrepo Market. Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, who handed over the keys to the grandmother, highlighted Melanin Mission's impactful initiatives, which include building houses for vulnerable families and running a youth empowerment and mentorship program. This marks the 9th home Melanin Mission has handed over across the country. Dr. Anthony emphasized the significant impact of providing homes to vulnerable individuals, noting how it transforms their lives, families, and communities. Pomu's new home is expected to improve significantly her standard of living and that of her grandchildren. Don't go away after the break. Biden stresses unity after assassination attempt, and Kenyan police watchdog probes police link to mutilated bodies.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Crow Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. How smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton, and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Caribbean governments have condemned the attempted assassination of former U.S. President Donald Trump during a public appearance in Pennsylvania. Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley emphasized that violence has no place in politics, while St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew expressed sadness and urged global unity against such acts. The Belize Foreign Affairs Ministry called the incident an attack on U.S. democracy. Trump sustained a minor ear injury and the attacker was killed by law enforcement. The incident also resulted in one attendee's death and 2 critical injuries. Countries in Central America are on high alert due to a record number of cases of dengue fever. In Honduras, at least 29 people have died so far this year. Neighboring El Salvador has also declared a health emergency. Al Jazeera's Amab Gotin reports.
This health worker is one of many in Honduras going door to door spraying insecticide against mosquitoes. Cases of dengue fever, a mosquito-borne virus, are on the rise.
We've had almost a 300% increase in the number of dengue cases registered compared to the same time last year, but we've been looking for ways to gradually reduce the increase.
Honduras has confirmed more than 50,000 cases this year and dozens of deaths. Symptoms include headache, fever, and in severe cases, bleeding and organ damage. Elda Martinez is worried. She brought her grandson to a clinic after hearing children had been diagnosed with dengue fever.
We brought him here to see if it is dengue fever, because if it is, he needs to be treated. This child of mine doesn't eat. He has a fever, but he doesn't have the flu or a cough, just a fever, and it does not go away.
The World Health Organization says in the first 4 months of the year, more than 7 million cases were reported in the Americas. That's 3 times higher than the same period last year. There's no cure for dengue fever. Currently, only 1 vaccine has been approved and licensed, and only in some countries. So for millions of people at risk, protecting themselves against the mosquitoes that carry the virus is the best option available. Amma Boateng, Al Jazeera.
U.S. President Joe Biden has called for unity following the assassination attempt on his Republican opponent, Donald Trump. Police have released the name of the shooter and details of the weapon used, as well as the identity of the Trump supporter shot dead at the rally in the city of Butler in Pennsylvania. Al Jazeera's Mike Hanna reports.
In a prime-time address from the Oval Office, the president made a passionate appeal for a less toxic political discourse in the country.
Violence has never been the answer, whether it's with members of Congress of both parties being targeted and shot, or a violent mob attacking the Capitol on January 6th, or a brutal attack on the spouse of former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, or information and intimidation on election officials, or the kidnapping plot against the sitting governor, or an attempted assassination on Donald Trump. There is no place in America for this kind of violence.
Police have identified the shooter as 20-year-old Thomas Crooks. They reportedly also found explosives in Crooks' vehicle. The assault weapon he used was legally bought by his father. Crooks is reported to be a registered Republican who had made recent small donations to groups aligned with the Democrats, something that in an earlier address Biden asked Americans to be cautious about.
I urge everyone, please, don't make assumptions about his motives or his affiliations.
50-year-old Corey Comparatore, a former firefighter, died at the rally, protecting family members who were with him, while other family members watched on television. 2 other people are in critical condition. The Biden campaign has for now pulled all its radio and TV adverts nationwide. This is something that the campaign for the former president, Donald Trump, has not done. An image from this shocking failed assassination attempt has already been posted as a fundraiser by the Trump campaign. The picture of a candidate with bloody face, likely to feature a lot in the months leading to the November election. The investigation into Saturday's shooting continues. Whether political temperatures will cool remains to be seen. Mike Hanna, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Finally, police in Kenya have fired tear gas at crowds near a disused quarry in Nairobi, from where they retrieved the bodies and mutilated body parts of at least 10 people since Friday. It's triggered outrage after weeks of anti-government.
It started with a young woman searching for her missing sister. Then bags of mutilated bodies kept coming. They've been retrieved from this disused quarry in Mukuru, a neighbourhood of slums in Nairobi. It's triggered outrage among Kenyans following protests last month against the government of President William Ruto. More than 40 people were killed. Rights groups say dozens of protesters have been abducted and several are still missing.
So atujui.
We don't know whether they are among the people who were abducted because of the protests. Since most of them are ladies, we are not sure if it could be femicide or insecurities that have been happening.
The crowd wanted the police to open the bags at the scene. Police refused. Then it turned violent. Kenya's police are frequently accused of extrajudicial killings, including in this community, activists say. Officers are rarely convicted. Police have said they'll investigate the bodies and rights groups can participate in post-mortems, but scepticism and anger run deep.
I think it is now the work of the pathologists and the forensic investigators to tell us and to tell the nation what is happening. Because if you put those figures together, you're talking about 13 bodies being recovered in about 24 hours. That is not a normal thing for any nation.
Police have for hours been firing tear gas at crowds of angry residents down these streets who've been retaliating by throwing stones. There's a deep mistrust in this community of the police and the government. They've been chanting, "Ruto must go," and they're aggrieved, not least because the bodies were found just meters from the Kware police station.
William Ruto was deputy president for 9 years before he was elected president 2 years ago. Then, he said, he'd end Kenya's long history of disappearances and extrajudicial killings. People here at the quarry side, along with many Kenyans, say they no longer believe what he says.
The truth must be found so that those who are involved in this heinous act must be punished and must be taken to court and the law must be applied to its fullest extent.
Residents said the police might disappear the bodies, so they escorted the pickup carrying them all the way to the city mortuary. Activists say the entire flooded quarry would need to be trawled to find out how many more bodies could be there. Whether or not anyone is held to account, it's clear in this community people have almost no faith in their government. Malcolm Webb, Al Jazeera, Nairobi.
And that's it, TV2 Headline News for this Monday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.